Hi, this is Peter the Clairvoyant here, and I'm looking at Aries now for April 2018 astrology. So, April 2018 astrology. And here I'm sort of getting a bit of lack of communication now, connecting around sort of family, where it just feels I've just got to start opening up and saying a few things. But what you've got to be careful is here, the more you start saying exactly what you're thinking and feeling, the more it seems to get you in trouble. In other words, the more the problems come to your doorstep. And you've got to watch that a little bit. It's like, yes, it's good to be there for family. Yes, it's good to help out and try and solve things and get everything on an even keel. But sometimes it causes more trouble than it's worth. So sometimes you've got to think, is it best to just keep out of it? So in one way, you're wanting to cut through all the crap and sort it all out, but you could actually be making things worse. Because here we're starting off with just lack of communication. You're doing a bit of soul searching here to say, well, what I'm going to do. You're trying to bring the love towards the family, and you try and sort it all out and cut through all the crap, but then here it causes more of a problem. So you've just got to watch what you're doing. Sometimes it isn't always straightforward. And it's almost like it feels though now you're coming to a bit of a crossroads now where you're starting to analyse things a little bit now about what you want and where you're going with your life. It's almost like as if to say, well, do I count as I am, or do I go out there now and make some big changes? And to be honest here, there is no right, no wrong here for you. It's just that you've got to do a bit of self-analysing and decide what you want out of life now as you move forward. So here you are, coming to your crossroads, and you're pausing for thought now, looking at things and deciding what's what. But it's always all about you focusing on your wishes and dreams. But bear in mind now, these wishes and dreams will cause big changes. So it's all there for you. And you've just got to decide now what's best for you. Now, sometimes you can be a bit of a worrier, or some of you can. But it is saying here, well, look, your worries are unfounded. But you don't want to go causing more trouble for yourself. So this is what it's all about. It's all about keeping the balance and keeping the peace. And you're trying to keep the peace, but sometimes you can't always keep the peace, but you can keep the peace for yourself. And this is what you've got to think about. And I can see this man here where I can see you connecting with, and he's got a bit of a fiery kind of personality. Sometimes he can come across a bit cold of his emotions, where he doesn't show his feelings very easily. And I feel as though he's probably your partner, but I also feel as though there could be two separate personalities here, or two separate people. So in other words, you've got one who will open up and speak his mind, and then you've got one who's a bit cold and doesn't show his feelings very easily. And these two could wind each other up a little bit within family. And it just feels though, and as you sort of, start sorting family out, and sort of causing the upsets there, you bring him and him closer together to arguing with each other. And then that brings the battles home to you. So this is what you've got to watch out for. So I just feel so my best advice is stay out of it. It really is, as otherwise you could be causing yourself a lot more trouble. So just watch that a little bit. But overall, I just feel so things will come together for you. And there is hope for the future and things will settle down. But like I say, you are in the driving seat. But with that driving seat, be careful what you wish for, because whatever you start sort of meddling in, it does come home to roost. So this is what you've got to be careful of a little bit. And you need to make sure now that none of this rubbish is draining your energy, because it will stress you out at times, it will wind you up, and it will make you feel tired like you've got no energy. So to be honest, I feel so it's definitely a win-win situation to stay out of it. But you start getting involved with everybody else's problems, it's all going to come home to roost. It really is. So definitely be very, very careful of what you're doing. But I feel so you've got a lot of love to give to everybody. You've got some big decisions to be made. And, you just need to choose your battles wisely. And I think that's the appropriate action. Choose your battles wisely. Some you should get involved in, and some you just should never even be in at all. And that's what you've got to be careful of. And especially if it comes to do with money. And I feel as if the money's got nothing to do with you, why are you getting involved in it? Because I feel as though money is the biggest problem for causing upheaval within family. So I feel so just watch that a little bit. You've got to be very careful now of what you're doing. But overall, bit by bit, you'll start to get where you need to be. And this is what it's all about. So it just feels like you'll be fine, everything will be okay, but just choose your battles wisely. I can't reiterate it enough, because I can see a lot of issues coming up around you through the month of April and May, where it just feels though you could get, drawn into arguments or disagreements, and or you may sort of volunteer yourself. But why are you volunteering yourself for an argument? It's like, whoa, what are you doing? So just be careful of all that. It's like it feels like you don't need the rubbish. You really don't. It's like, why are you getting involved? Right. And let's have a look now to do with what your angels are going to say. So a lot of positive energy coming around you now. So embrace all that. And let's very quickly just look at money for you. Yeah, so money overall is fine, but do watch out things to do with wills, especially within the family. You may get invited to look at it or oversee things, and that's fine, but remember, it's not your will. Just remember that. So if there's any arguments where, look, I haven't wrote the will, I haven't meddled in it, or don't you meddle in it, let them make the decisions. And let's have a quick look at your health. Yeah, so try not to get too stressed with different things. Try not to overthink things too much. And also do watch out for somebody within family where it just feels though they're not too well at the moment, and it feels so any bit of stress and aggravation seems to tip them over the balance a little bit. So, and that's another reason why not sort of getting yourself involved in arguments, because it comes back to you that you're blamed for it all. So it don't feel right getting involved in arguments with family. Stay out of it. Really, you really must. I can't say that strong enough for you. I really can't. Right, let's have a look now at love life now for Aries. 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, you Aries are definitely very independent, and do you know what? It's great. I think it's fantastic. Nothing wrong with independence as well. But I feel as though don't forget that you are a normal person, and and love is there for you if you will allow it in, especially for those if you're single, because some of you become so independent it's like you're not bothered. And it's all great sort of being not bothered, but it's like closing yourself off to a lot of sort of enjoyable things. I know you could say to yourself, well, I'm closing myself off to a lot of aggravation as well, and yeah, I get that, but it's not all doom and gloom, is it? It's like that's what we make it. So I just feel as though love is there for you if you want it and allow it in. Yeah, there'll be little setbacks with love, there always is. But I just feel as though it's there. So you just got to make sure now that you're moving forward in the right direction and not looking backwards too much or holding yourself back too much. And I feel as though those of you that are in settled relationships, sometimes there's just a bit of lack of communication. We just need to start opening up a little bit. But I feel as though partners are being a bit sort of within themselves at the moment. But I just feel as though it's because sometimes they don't quite know how to take it. It's like I feel as though you're in a different sort of mood at the moment. So it's almost like I feel as though they're disconnecting from themselves from you because they don't want to sort of make things worse. So I just feel as though if you can sort of show them the love and passion a little bit, and that you are there and you're not too distant from them, then I feel like that will settle relationships down a little bit. So other than that, I just feel as though we're generally okay, but it's either one extreme to the other. We either not want and it all, there's just lack of communication. But things will calm down, things will get easier, and we've just got to keep looking forwards. But there's your true love card. It's there. It's just sometimes we overthink things too much a little bit. So it just feels like we've just got to start getting out there now, setting goals for the future and making things happen. And I feel like the more we can do that, the better it is. So we need to start just enjoying life a little bit. And if we could get a bit of a mini break, I think that could do us good as well. So I just think that all that's wonderful. So I just feel as though we just need a little bit of care and attention coming into relationships. And let's just see what your angels say. Okay, yeah. Being a bit self-protective of yourselves at the moment, Aries, or you need to just learn to open up a little bit. Because you are quite passionate people, and you know, you do sort of like the love and you like to be pampered a little bit. So maybe partners as well need to pamper you a little bit more as well. But if you're not in the mood, then you know, it's like, you know, they're feeling a bit shut out as well. So just keep an eye on that a little bit. But other than that, I feel like we're fine. So we just got to keep looking forwards. But I just feel that this is a great time now to sort of communicate about the future. Don't get involved in family feuds. Sort our own little unit out. And I feel so as we do that, it's great. But I feel as though it's time to sort of try and connect with the water. I feel like water's very calming around you. So anything to do with going to the sea, the lakes, you know, walking around the canal, if there's a canal nearby you, anything to do with water, I just feel as though it would be really good for the both of you. Kind of lift the energy up a little bit. And I feel so, and that's good. And I just feel as though you need to show this video to your partners so he kind of gets to understand you a little bit. And then as that happens, he kind of knows, you know, to sort of keep you sort of steering out of family arguments a little bit, because you'll be so sort of passionate about sort of wading in, you know, you might not think of the consequences, and then partners could remind you as if to say what this was all about, as if to say, look, don't do it, could come back to bite you. And I feel like you could have regrets by somebody not stopping you. So do think about that a little bit. But other than that now, it's about just looking forward, planning, and sort of focusing on yourselves a little bit. And the more you can do that, the better it is for you and your partners. And like I said, if you're single, I feel so don't stay single forever. It is a great time, you know, to embrace love and let it in. You know, I don't say anything negative about it except you just wanting to be your independent self, and that's absolutely great. Don't knock it at all. But I feel so the more you can be out there connecting with people, you won't feel gooseberry. And I feel so, and it's good. So it's time to sort of push yourself forward a little bit. Okay, so that's me, Peter the Clairvoyant. If you want a private reading with me, connect with me through Facebook or petertheclairvoyant.co.uk. So thank you.